Hello, we are back to do my 27-week pregnancy video journal. My 26th week we did on a water camera. I'm hoping I can get it uploaded. It's not uploaded yet. This camera, we had misplaced the charger. I guess I thought it was Rigo's phone charger, and I had it plugged into the wall by his side of the bed, and I had looked everywhere. We had gone out of town, and I thought we left it out of town, so I had looked everywhere that I could think that I would have put it, but I ended up putting it over on Rigo's side, thinking it was his phone charger, and it wasn't. It was the camera charger. So we have found the camera charger, and we are using our regular video camera for this video. Week 26 was on a water camera, and I will be trying to get that uploaded. I know I've had issues with that in the past, so we will hope I can get that uploaded. If not, I do apologize for that. But I do have a video that we did do. It's just on another camera. So there is a little bit of information as to that. This update is for week 27. Week 27, we spent about 4 days of that, right? 4 days in California for the 4th of July. And while we were in California, we ate at a raw food restaurant. It's called 118 Degrees. It is phenomenal. I love that restaurant. As soon as we got back, I haven't stopped craving their food, and I wish I could just drive out there just to get some more of their food. So there were two things that it introduced me to that I absolutely loved. One I've already made, and one I have starting to prepare. One is tomatillo salsa. I don't know if I said that right. It's those like green things that look almost like tomatoes but with the husk on them. Tomatillos or tomatillos or something like that. It's a tomatillo salsa. I'd gotten a fried avocado taco. They call it fried, but it's just like the avocados coated in flax. But there was a lot of like baby greens and carrots, and it did have raw organic corn on it, and that's the first time I have tasted corn in well over 2 years. And I have to say I loved it. But the salsa, it was this green salsa, and I started dipping it in there. I didn't even realize there was a taco shell. I thought it was like a salad thing that I expected it to be a rolled taco because it was called rolled taco, but I ended up starting to eat it, and it was so good I had to get more of the salsa, and by the time I got to the bottom I realized there was 2 shells in there. Well, I had already gotten so full I didn't end up eating the shells. But if you ever go to 118 Degrees and get the rolled tacos, they come kind of looking like a salad, but there are some kind of dehydrated tortilla underneath that you're supposed to pick up and actually eat it like a taco. So I messed up and didn't do it. I have made that since being home, and I really love it. The other thing that we had there was a peach cobbler, and oh my goodness, I'm not a cobbler lover. At least I didn't used to be. So since we've become raw, I haven't made it. I've never ordered it if we went to a raw restaurant. When Rigo decided he wanted to order it, I was like, oh really? Because what we did is we ordered, I think, 2 or 3 desserts to share across the table, and the desserts that he chose were not ones that I was feeling. It was like a brownie, and we had just had the brownie. We had gone twice. Once to like a little cafe of 118 Degrees, and once to the actual restaurant, sit-down restaurant. And I had had the brownie when we went to the cafe, and to me it wasn't as good as my brownie. It was good, but it was too chocolatey for me. So I wasn't really feeling it. And then he wanted the peach cobbler, and I'm like, oh man. But then when it came, it looked amazing. And I said, I gotta try a bite of this. And I took a bite. I almost didn't let him have any. I told the kids, you're not having any. And then we were on our way back home, and the waitress came, and I almost told her to bring me another one, and I have not stopped thinking about that peach cobbler since we got home. So I have peaches sitting on my counter, ripening, so that I can attempt to make this peach cobbler. It had like a pecan crust and like a crumble on top. Oh, it was so good. So good. Well, anyways, besides those two things that I'm now really wanting to make and get into,
Surfer sandwich.
Rigo wants me to tell you that that restaurant had something called a surfer sandwich. It was on a buckwheat bread, and they marinated like baby kale somehow, and they put different kinds of vegetables in it, and he absolutely loved that sandwich. They had a sweet mustard, sweet honey mustard that he put on it. He got that at the cafe, and he got it again when we went to the restaurant. And then he said the words surfer sandwich so many times since coming home that I told him, if he says surfer sandwich one more time, I'm never going to try to make it. So he wanted me to tell you about the surfer sandwich, because he's now allowed to say it just this one time. But anyways, besides that, we went to California somewhat unprepared. While we were out there, we found green grapes on sale for 59 cents a pound, and so Rigo got like 3 or 4 bags of grapes, and he brought them home, or brought them to where we were staying, and I ended up just like devouring these grapes. And ever since then, I've been eating grapes every day. So I've been like on a grape, green grape splurge. I'm still eating the almond butter. I've still had the avocado and cucumber. I do think I'm eating more than I had been. I know there was some times where all I do is eat almond butter and apples. For like weeks I did that, but now I'm eating a lot more. I'm eating smaller amounts, but I'm eating more often. But the baby's getting bigger, so of course I'm sure that means that there's bigger needs. Still, of course, 100% raw. We haven't had anything heated above 118 degrees this entire pregnancy, or a little over a year before that. It's been about a year and a half now that we've been 100% raw. So that was, I think that was pretty much most of the food changes. I will say that I've been having some Braxton Hicks contractions. That's normal. You're supposed to have it at this time. I have gotten little bits of, what's that called? Heartburn. Heartburn. I used to have heartburn all the time, and especially when I was pregnant, before when I was cooked and eating junk food. Being pregnant, forget it. I would be sitting up sleeping by now every single night. I'd be dying of heartburn. Now it's, if I do get it, it's so minor that compared to before I wouldn't even call it heartburn. But I have gotten little bits of heartburn because now I'm more in tune with my body, and it's nothing that really bothers me too bad. But I did notice that if I take a little bit of sodium bicarbonate, it's like an aluminum-free baking soda, just a tiny bit, not even just a tiny bit, I'll take it and it's completely gone.
With water.
Oh, I put it in water and drink it. So that helps. So if you're raw and you do have heartburn, because the baby's growing hair now, and that's what causes the heartburn, plus if you eat too much, but if you are raw and you're looking for options for heartburn, number one, don't go to bed right after eating. Of course, you probably know that. And then the sodium bicarbonate, make sure it's aluminum free. Don't just take baking soda. You can order it on Amazon. We got it off of Amazon, and it comes in a bag, and it'll last forever, but it's good even when you're not pregnant. You know, anytime that you feel acidity or anything, you just take sodium bicarbonate and it'll make your blood more alkaline. So you don't want to overdo it though, because you don't want to become too alkaline. So, but that's probably most of the pregnancy updates. Have I had any other changes in the actual pregnancy? Everything's been pretty good. We're still healthy, no problems. Everything's progressing well. And so we will show you my belly. And my belly is getting quite big. This is 27-week belly. And she is moving lots. And she moves, when she moves, you can see my belly move. One day this week, her butt stuck out, like came out over here, and the girls got to feel her little butt. Another time, her knee like came out and did something over here. She's just all over the place, and it's cool because even the tiniest little movement, sometimes I'm not even realizing she's moving because I'm feeling it all the time, and it seems so minor compared to some of her other movements. But you see my stomach move, or when Rigo's touching it, and he's like, "Oh, I feel her," and then it all start focusing on it, and yeah, she's moving, but she's just kind of adjusting. But she moves so major now, and such big movements, that those tiny little ones, it's like, you know, I just blow them off, and they're not a big deal. But that is my 27-week update, and we will see you again at 28 weeks.